morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 175 as we're going to be talking about the must-watch college football games because we are in the playoffs finally. We get 4 games one on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and then we're going to talk about NFL games as we're actually going to be talking about a Saturday night game. Damn NFL. College in the NFL as we have must-watch games in the NFL. And then we always have to finish with Tim's best bets. Can he go 4-0 this week? You're running out of weeks to go 4-0 before we get into this end of the year. So let's get it started.
Yeah. I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Sox.
Travel been to Indiana. And did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. I'm here with Anthony and Tim. We're on episode 175. The crew is back. We're ready to get rock and rolling and just in time because we have the start of college football playoffs this weekend. So let's not waste any time. Tim, tell me what's your first must-watch game this weekend?
I think you got to start right off on Friday night, Alabama, Oklahoma. I think this is a great game to start off the college football playoffs. For Alabama, you got to start off hot. You can't play like you did last time. No 3-and-outs and no turnovers. Got to get on Oklahoma early and often. Figure out Oklahoma's pass rush because that's what you struggled on last time you guys played each other in Tuscaloosa. Maybe throw a trick play in there. Maybe get them offset. Get them off balance. For Oklahoma, keep winning the turnover battle. You won it last time. You could do it again this time. This time you're at home, Oklahoma. So you can't just win the turnover battle. You've got to cash in. Can't get field goals like you did last time. You did a lot of field goals with your key guy. I can't think of the kid's name. You have to cash in. Dominate the special teams like you did in 2000 all over again when they went to the national championship. Kickoff coverage has to pin Alabama down. I think if you could do that and make them go the length of the field, I think that's going to be key as well. They need to flip the field as well when the ball is punted. And that Tate Sandell, that's who the kicker is. He's going to have to kick some monster kicks, I think. He's going to have to be automatic from 46. And I think this game comes down to the kickers. And I like Oklahoma. No, take that back. I'll let you know at the end.
So that's interesting, though, that you're saying that they need to score touchdowns, but it's going to come down to the kickers. So that's going to be a very interesting dynamic throughout the game. Anthony, what do you think about this?
Yeah, so no school on Friday. No school. They ain't having it. Oklahoma already said they're canceling classes for this. They want to have everyone there. I wish they would do that for work as well. No games on or no work on Friday as well. Like he said, they've already played each other. They know what's coming from both teams. I definitely agree. I think Ty Simpson's the biggest person in this game. He has not played as of great as of recent, but if you remember, they had that huge stretch where they were winning games and he was playing on. They were talking about Heisman for him possibly. And then I think on the other side for Oklahoma, Mateer has to play well. It comes down to these two quarterbacks in this situation. So on reverse, what are these defenses going to do? You're going to have to get after Ty Simpson and make sure he's rattled, things like that. Use that crowd, that 12th man. And then finally for Alabama, make Mateer sit in the pocket. Let him sit if you let him run, then it's a wild card from him. But let him sit there in the pocket and see if he can throw it. I don't think they will. I actually like Alabama in this game. I know Alabama hasn't played it good as of recent, but I truly think that they're going to win. I think the home field advantage has not mattered in this series. If you remember last year, Oklahoma beat Alabama at Oklahoma, and then this year, Alabama. So I guess the home field does actually matter. Ooh. I'm still going with Alabama. I think Alabama wins this game. I just think they're better. Their team, and watch for Williams to have a big week. We haven't had one yet this year, so he needs a big game in this one, and he might even have a good playoffs in general. But I like Alabama.
Okay. I think I'm leaning towards Alabama as well. I hope they do move on because they were, one of the questions that we were talking about getting into the playoffs. So they better prove themselves here. So I'm rooting for them. Okay, Anthony, take me into your first must-watch this weekend.
Yeah, so we just talked about that first game. That's a must-watch for sure, right? Great game. Second one is Miami versus Texas A&M. Miami gets into that head-to-head controversy, just like Alabama. They got to play to win because if they don't win, it's gonna get real loud. Same thing with Miami. While Texas A&M, 2-3 weeks ago, was supposed to be a first-round bye. They were top 4. Everything was going great, and then they go against Texas and lose. I think this comes down to which quarterback plays better. Are you going to have Carson Beck playing better, or are you going to have Marcel Reed? Because Marcel Reed has struggled as of recent. Miami, you got to keep Carson upright and keep that pocket clean. If Texas A&M comes after him, that's when he gets all those happy feet. I don't know what to do, and he throws an interception. That's what you can't have happen. Get your weapons open. That Tooney, whatever, He's a stud. Get him open. Let him decide it. Open field is great for him. And then the last one is keep Marcel Reed in the pocket. I would rather lose this game by his arm than his legs because we already know he can do it with his legs. Marcel Reed is Lamar Jackson Jr. Everyone doesn't believe in that arm, but they know what he can do when he takes off running. Let's see if he can actually do it at this level. On the other side, Texas A&M, physicality. That is a must in this game. Be more physical than Miami, and you will win this game. I don't think Miami has had to play a physical team outside of Notre Dame. And I will say, as a Notre Dame fan, week 1, they did not show the physicality they did by the end of this. I think if you do that, easy. And you got to start with some urgency, Texas A&M. The 2 games you guys lost this year, or the 1 game you lost this year, Texas, you got down, and then you had to come back. What about South Carolina? You went down so much. You have to have urgency because now you're playing teams that will put it on you if you're down. Final thing for Texas A&M, defense. Defense has to step up in this game. They gave up 27 points to Texas when they last played. That's not acceptable. That defense is way too good to give up that amount of points. If you let Miami stick around, they will win this game. Ask Notre Dame. They will win this game. So, Texas A&M, I love Texas A&M on this one. I actually think it could possibly be a beatdown, and I hope it is a little bit just because it's going to get real loud if Alabama and Miami lose. But I like Texas A&M to win this game. They got a lot going behind them.
Yeah, I feel like the way you were talking, you were definitely leaning towards A&M. But what I find interesting about this game is, this is the play, head-to-head that Notre Dame lost to. So I think it's very interesting to see how these 2 teams are going to play against each other because I think it does say a point to how Notre Dame has now ended their season depending on how this game goes. If they're a tight game, through and through, I could see where Notre Dame's they were tough teams to lose to. So, it's understandable. But if one gets, smoked out, I think it's we should have had Notre Dame in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards A&M too because I'm just over Miami. I think they're going to get shut out here. So I'm hoping that, A&M takes this. What do you think, Tim?
I like A&M. I think they get Concepcion. I think even if he can't use his legs, Marcel Reed, I think he can get the ball to Concepcion. I think that's going to be the key. And also the running attack. I don't know if Levon Moss is going to play. If he doesn't, they've got to get the running game going, so that even opens it up more. I think they're the quicker team, Texas A&M, even on defense. I think they'll get to Carson Beck and make him force the turnovers. I can see him having 2-3 interceptions. I think the 12th man at College Station is going to be a key as well. I like A&M big.
Yep.
All right. So we're all aligned here. So hopefully we get this one for sure. Tim, what's your second playoff game we should watch this weekend?
Ole Miss and Tulane for Ole Miss. How does Trinidad Chambliss react to being in the CFP for the first time? He has played in the CFP, but it was for Ferris State, and it's a D3 team. But he's played in some big games, so this is the playoffs, baby. You got to win or go home. For Tulane, does Jake Resnick bounce back after having this worst game of the year against Ole Miss early in the year where they got beat by 35? And see how Ole Miss starts. If they start out slow because Lane leaving, that could keep Tulane into this game. There's plenty of distractions against Mississippi when they played Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and the Egg Bowl. But this is the playoffs now. I think Ole Miss leans on Chambliss and Keywan Lacey and their defense, and I like this game to stay close than what the spread is. I think it's 17, but I think Ole Miss pulls away in the second half.
Mm.
Yeah, this one's tough because I will say I didn't watch much of Tulane, but
Nobody did.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But I think this is going to be a true testament to how Ole Miss is without their head coach. Now, their offensive coordinator stayed, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And did he stay like during this entire time, or did he go to Louisiana and come back? I would assume he stayed.
He got on the plane, but then came right back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Lane told him stay there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So-
So yeah, I'm really curious to see how they've been, but they've had like what 2 weeks off. It seems like that news broke a while ago now. So
Yeah.
maybe they've adjusted and can get it done. But out of what I haven't seen out of Tulane, I'm gonna pick Ole Miss here too. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I think when you look at Ole Miss, you know, like definitely the whole coaching situation, but I think there's more pressure on Tulane, believe it or not. And I think these next two games we're going to talk about, because if Tulane gets blown out and James Madison gets blown out, it's now going to be like, okay, we're not doing this whole pity party. We're going to let everyone play anymore. It's going to get real loud. And honestly, if all four lose, Miami and Alabama, and then you know Notre Dame's going to sit back and be like, told y'all.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of pressure on Tulane. Ole Miss, just let Chambliss or whatever the quarterback and Lacey do their thing. Just let them do their thing. They're freaks of nature of athletes. They're so good. Like you're gonna see both of them on Sundays. I hope you're gonna really see Lacey on Sunday for sure. So just be ready for that, and then also be ready for Tulane to just throw the bag at you, trick plays, things like that, because they got nothing to lose. They're not. Everyone thinks they shouldn't even deserve to be there, so why not give everything? On the other side, Tulane. I said about Texas A&M, but I'm saying it here. How do you beat a team that's faster than you? Physicality. You got to be more physical than them. Wide receivers, hit at the line, press coverage, things like that, because I will tell you right now, they are fast. They will throw balls over your head. So stay as the deepest person. And then also don't quiet the crowd, shock the crowd. Don't quiet them, because quiet them, they can get loud again. But if you shock them, it's hard for them to come back alive. I think this game will be interesting for sure. I think the point spread is huge. And yes, they beat them by 35 or whatever, but that was a whole different team than this. Losing a head coach is a huge thing. Ask all the NFL teams that fired all their coaches. It goes downhill, and it goes downhill very fast. But I like Ole Miss to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, it's a close game in the fourth quarter.
Well, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I would love to see a good game out of this. I think you have a good perspective there, where it's like this is Tulane's opportunity to make a name for themselves, because otherwise people are going to have opinions like me, where it's like, who cares about Tulane? So yeah, definitely their opportunity, and I would say the same for James Madison. So why don't you take me into that game?
Yep, James Madison and Oregon to finish off the night. 20-point spread. So you know how Vegas feels about this right here. 20 points. It also kind of makes you wonder, like, was this game even important? Oregon only has one loss this year, and it's to the Big Ten champions. Now, James Madison had the 125th ranked strength of schedule. I think there's 150 D1 colleges. They had 125, okay? They truly, when people say have not played anyone, they have not played anyone. Oregon, Dante Moore. That's all I need to be said. Just let the man do his thing. Let him eat. The guy is good. You gave him rest now. He needs to come out fast. Defense needs to play physical as well. And use that 12th man. Oregon is a scary place to play at. And definitely a night game. You getting that crowd involved. I think it's going to be a good place to kind of control the clock. And then the thing that I'll say to Oregon, play your game. This moment is not that big yet. You're not there yet. You guys last year came out and gave a stunker against Ohio State. Now, I understand Ohio State was the national champions, but man, did Oregon look bad. They couldn't tackle nobody. On the other side, James Madison, run the ball and control the clock. Just make the beating less of a beating if it's going to be a beating, or control the clock to the point where you may win the game, because there's only so many possessions. Oregon has the ball. They have this Knight, the running back, had over 1,200 rushing yards this year. Nobody's talking about that. Like that's a pretty solid year for him. And then I just think you got to keep this game close. If you're James Madison, keep it close, then pounce. You're not going to shock and awe I think there's a better chance that Tulane does that than James Madison does it. So just stay close and then try to strike when you can. I feel like that's Oregon's kryptonite. They always never able to put a game away. So if James Madison can stay around and then find a way to win it, I like Oregon to win this game. I think, honestly, these 4 games, I think there was better games last year for the 4 than this year. But I will say that if there is some close games, it's not going to be the last 2 we just talked about.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. Well, Tim, let me hear your 2 cents before I chime in.
Well, I think James Madison is going to be outclassed, outmanned, out everything. I'll let you know later what my game is or what I predict, but I think you pretty much know where I'm leaning towards.
He's leaning towards that 20-point spread.
Yikes.
So that's what he meant when he said I could either go
I like
or no.
Yeah, right, exactly. We talked before we got on the podcast that either it's going to be 0-4 this weekend or 4-0.
Yikes.
We're going to find out.
Woo-wee.
For all the bettors out there, I would
in your favor.
Yes, I would stay away. That's a lot of points. If you're going to rock on 1, 17 is closer than. Yikes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see what you say.
He's risking it for the biscuit.
That's right.
Well, I'll say for this game, I'll take the effect that Anthony had against Tulane. I'll look at the underdog here. They went undefeated this year, though, right? Just because they had No, they still had how many losses?
They had 1 loss.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if they were undefeated, though, they only know how to win. But that's not the same, because now you're saying Oregon also has 1 loss. So,
yeah.
But they have won. They have won 11 straight. Or JMU has won 11 straight. So their 1 loss must have been the first game of the year.
125 ranked strength of schedule. They said Notre Dame's was 42. So what is 125? That's playing D3 schools. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just play the advocate for them and say they only know how to win. Although I'm picking Oregon.
Yeah. I was about to be like, you're about to lose your spot on this podcast if you say James Madison. And I'll tell you right now, just going back to this, if one of these teams wins, if only one of them wins, oh my gosh, will the doors open for the power, or the outside the power. Yeah,
the group 5. It would be a group 5 instead of power 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony, it will happen. It is going to happen once.
Yeah. Maybe not this year.
Because in March Madness, nobody thought a 64 could beat a 1 or a 16 could beat a 1. I'm sorry. And that's happened. It will happen. It will happen.
I know, but I will say this real quick. You cannot, because I've seen so many people talk about the March Madness compared to this. You cannot compare those. 5 against 5. This is 11 versus 11.
Yeah.
It is a more physical sport. It's not about lucky 3-pointers. It's not lucky. It's all based on grit and skill. And that's why it's hard to think a Cinderella comes through. Maybe we get it, and maybe in 10 years we get it. But I will say, if both teams get blown out, you'll never see 2 of the group 5 coming in again.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fair to say. All right, well, let's move over to NFL, because we have some good games this weekend too, and we also have a game Saturday night. So, Tim, take me through your first game.
And it's a rival too. The NFC North, Green Bay, the Packers, and the Bears. It's a hated rival that around this area. It's hated around if you're from the Midwest, this is a hated rival. I think for the Packers, can they bounce back after that tough loss to Denver, where they had a 9-point lead in the third quarter and lost Watson in an injury and Parsons? Other people will have to step up. I think in the wide receiver, Wicks, Dobbs is going to have to step up on defense. How well can they handle the Bears without their big stud Micah Parsons, who wreaked havoc on Williams 2 weeks ago, the last time they played, and slowed down the rushing attack of the Bears? For the Bears, you got to start fast. Williams needs to maintain momentum and use his legs to avoid the pass rush and make plays with his legs and balance the run game with Swift and Monangai. They also need a strong they got to finish strong. They did in the second half of the last game of 2 weeks ago. They played a great second half, but they didn't finish the game. They were going down to drive, and he throws that interception. That cannot happen this time. I think on defense, get the love. Denver showed, I think they give him a blueprint in the second half of how to get the love. He was scrambling, and he had no I think he had 3 sacks in that second half. You got to get to him and make him one dimensional. I like 1 second. I'll let you know later in the show, later in the podcast.
No, I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be hard for the Packers to, adjust to these injuries that they have, because wasn't there another player that went down that game too?
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
couple.
Tom. I think it's the right guard or the right tackle went down as well.
Yeah.
So that's a big key one too.
Exactly. So I definitely think the advantage is towards the Bears, and then they're at home too. So I definitely think this game could have been, a really good comeback game if it was, right after their last seeing each other. But I do think the Bears are going to take this one, and I think the advantages are just pointing to them this time. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, what this game could have been.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you never beat the Packers at home. Aaron Rodgers back in the day called you the daddy, stuff, all that crap, right? Now, I got to drive home today, and I'm listening to 670, listening to the radio, finding out that Luther Burden might not be playing in this game.
Yeah.
And Rome Aduze is not playing as well. That is huge for the Bears side. I think you're going to see a big game from Loveland. I think you're going to see a big game from DJ Moore. I think you're going to have to run the ball. But on the Packers side, okay, Watson goes out. Well, they won games without Watson. I think Parsons is the biggest injury because that guy started coming on, and I think they said, I was watching, 9 sacks in the fourth quarter. 9 sacks. That's huge for what you have when you're late in that game. You need to control the clock, getting those type of sacks. I do like the Bears to win this game. I will say on 670, I heard today, too, them bitching about the stadium, because we heard that news today from the owner, or not the owner, but the president.
Jerome, yep,
stating that they're not locked down in Arlington, and they could go to Indiana if they really wanted to. I heard that 670 was like, well, just put them up in Kenosha then, if that's what you're going to do. I will tell you right now, do not come to Kenosha, because it's hard being a Vikings fan around here, yet alone being a Bears fan. No, I definitely think the Bears win this game. I think if it was in Green Bay, it's a different game as well. But because it's in Chicago, you got to win this one. And I will tell you, Bears fans out there, oh man, it sucks I wish the Packers were healthy. Just take it when you get it, okay? Exactly. Go get this team while they're injured and stuff like that. Go get this win, because if you lose, then the conversation switches of the Packers now again.
Yep. Most definitely. And right now, the Bears are in the top 5 for power rankings, so they got to hold that spot as long as they can. Okay, Anthony, take me to your first must-watch for the NFL.
Yeah, another division game, right? Great game that should be on Sunday, because I hate that NFL has Saturday games. I understand they were there first. We were talking about this before. It doesn't matter. College football matters more in the playoffs. We talked about it last year, too. But Tampa versus Carolina. Nobody wants to win in the NFC South. Nobody. They're just like, hey, take it. Both teams are coming off nasty losses. Mm-hmm. I think Tampa lost to – who did they lose to? It was I don't know.
Atlanta on Thursday night, yeah.
Yes, and then Carolina lost to the Saints. So definitely bad. I will say this is one of 2 matchups in the next 3 weeks that we see out of them. Just like how we talked Bears and Packers. A couple weeks ago, they played each other. This one, I think it always means a little bit different when that happens because it's fresh. That Band-Aid's been ripped off fresh. So who's going to take advantage of this? Excuse me. With the Bucs, defense has to play better. They're looking like Swiss cheese out there right now. Anyone can run the ball. Anyone can throw the ball. They have to play better. And then you know who also has to play better? Baker Mayfield. You got all your weapons now. You were winning when you didn't have them all. Now you got them all. Start winning these games. Godwin is back. Bucky Irving's back. You have Mike Evans. You have everyone. So start winning these games. Don't make this a close game at the end. On the other side, Panthers. Utilize your running game. Utilize it. You have Rico Dowell. You have Hubbard back there. Run that ball down the throat because, like I just said, the Bucs defense can't stop anyone. So don't put it in Bryce Young's hands to try to win this game. Just run the ball. Bryce Young is 0-4 versus the Bucs. Never beat him.
Ooh.
And I wonder, is this the week that does it? I don't think so. I like the Bucs in this game. Even though it's in Carolina, I think they control their own destiny. If they win this game, they play in Miami, which should be a win because now at this point they're playing anyone that wants to be a quarterback at Miami. Yeah. So I think the Bucks, if they win this one and win next week, that last game doesn't even matter. So we'll see.
You definitely I thought you were going towards Panthers there, and then you're like, nope.
Nah, no.
Psych.
I agree with you. I definitely think the Bucks need to finish the season how they started the season. They were on fire. They were closing games. They were using all their weapons. They need to get back to that now that they're back on the field. So I'm going for the Bucks. What do you think, Tim?
I think this is going to be a lot closer what it is, but I really don't know because I'm going to let you know later in the podcast.
Well, those are your two, so you're going to say the next ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take us into your next must-watch.
We're going to do Jacksonville and Denver. For Jacksonville, got to get after Knicks, force them in some bad passes, turn the ball over. On offense, Liam Cohen, you need to scheme to your receivers and use the NTN in the run game, as Denver's run defense has not been good of late. For Denver, control the line of scrimmage, open up the running lane for R.J. Harvey. Don't have a letdown just because you beat the Packers last week. Don't have a letdown because this is not going to get any much easier. You've got the Chiefs and the Chargers the following 2 weeks. Give Knicks time to throw. Defense, play aggressive like you have all season. Jacksonville has seen the type of – because Jacksonville hasn't seen this type of defense all year, especially playing the AFC South. Limit ETN's success and make Lawrence one-dimensional and get pressure on him. I'm hoping that this isn't a letdown game for Denver, but I still think they win. Eventually, I think they lose, but I don't know when that's going to happen. But I think they're going to win this. I believe they'll win. They win.
All right. Well, Anthony, let me hear your side. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, you said that Jaguars haven't played a defense like this. What about that team that's in their division? Houston Texans have a better defense than the Broncos.
Well, okay, maybe.
Well, I'll say this.
Maybe that's the fandom coming out of me.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence came off of a 6-touchdown game. Yes, he did not go against a defense like Denver's. I don't think he's able to step up and throw the ball the way he was last week. I also think the DBs are going to run with these guys. Brian Thompson Jr. has to be a bigger factor in this game because who's the other one that they just got? Jacoby Myers. He's been playing really well. I think if you get Brian Thomas Jr. Thomas Jr. going, that'll open it up for him. On the other side for Denver, can Bo Nix keep this going? Can he him and Sutton look so good. Can they keep that going? Harvey, can you run the ball with this? I think this is going to be a really close game. I think it could be a really good game as well. I think it's going to be one of the ones that we talk about on Sunday. Is it in Jacksonville?
No, it's in Denver.
Oh, I wanted to take the Jags. All right, I'll take Denver. I think Denver wins this game. If it was at Jacksonville, I would change it because now we're talking about temperatures being very cold, but in some places we're talking about humidity. And if it was in Jacksonville, I think that humidity would get after him. But Mile High, man, there's an advantage there. So I like the Broncos to win.
Yeah, well, the air quality for one, and then you don't know if it's going to snow the day before or not.
And when it snows, it snows.
Right.
No, I hear you. I definitely think I'm leaning towards both of you. I think I'm going to lean towards Denver. I think they're still rolling. I don't think it's ready to stop yet.
Well, and I'll say this real quick, too. If Denver wins this game, they're going to go against a non-Patrick Mahomes Chiefs team.
Yeah.
And that should be an easy win. So if you win those two, you lock up the 1 seed. And Chargers game doesn't even matter. So they can lose that game. And honestly, you may even see players sit because that's 2 weeks off. So this game does matter because and also, too, on the other side, Jags, Houston Texans are coming behind you. So you got to win these games as well. And who knows what this Colts team, Phillip Rivers. Yep. Santa Rivers is still playing, so we'll see how he goes.
Rivers. Old man Rivers.
Most definitely. So it'll be a battle all the way down to the end. So that'll be exciting to watch. Well, Anthony, what's your second must-watch game this Sunday?
Well, we're staying with the old man Rivers. Right here, San Fran and the Colts. They actually play on Monday night. Oh. We usually don't talk about the Monday night game on Sunday, so I just want to bring this one up because this is a great game. This should be a great game. This is about the Colts staying alive because they started 7-1, I think it was. They were running, man. Everything was going great. And then obviously started losing, and then you lose Daniel Jones, and it's kind of been going Sauce Gardner. All this has kind of gone downhill. So can they stay alive? While San Fran, there's a big game that's happening as we're recording right now. Seahawks and Rams. If Seahawks lose, now you're talking about San Fran kind of moving up there. Can they be in the contention of that spot for the division? Because these teams still, there's games to happen. So San Fran's got to win this one, right? Phillip Rivers has to throw the ball more than 4 yards. That was his average throw was 4 yards. Got to be better than that because San Fran's going to come up on that. What do the Colts got to do to win this game? Obviously, Phillip Rivers and the defense. The defense has to play better. I get it. Sauce Gardner's out, and that was a whole why you got the trade and things like that. They got to play better. Got to stop the run. Got to be able to, because Chris McCaffrey can do everything. You're going to have to keep an eye on him as well. On the other side, 49ers defense, or 49ers. Colts defense runs zone. Okay? So that's not man on man. That's where a guy's got a zone, okay? Well, that just sounds like the playbook that the 49ers have built. They do so much, what is that called? Like misreads, things like that, where it doesn't look like it's going to be a play this way and then it goes the other way. I think that's going to be an advantage to the 49ers. And then this defense has so many injuries on the 49ers, but they're still playing very well. Can they get after Rivers, make him use his legs a little bit? Because he did not look like he wanted to. It barely looked like he wanted to walk around there, yet alone run. So I think if they can get after him, I like the 49ers to win this game. They got hot at the right time. They're a scary team just because they got a lot of options. But the one thing that I don't love coming from the 49ers is this Brandon Ayuk drama stuff. That adds a little controversy. I do love that coach for the 49ers was like, he's done. We're done. We're moving on. It's over. Yep. We're not bringing this into our locker room. We're not doing all this. It's over. But I still think the San Fran beats Colts because, unfortunately, the injury to Daniel Jones ended their season.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that too. But yeah, they're staying alive as best as they can. And I was doing the little like
Yeah, staying alive.
Little Bee Gees.
Well, Tim, what do you think about this game?
It's 49ers. I think Purdy's playing is right on top right now. I think Shanahan's got that team rolling. Yeah, if anybody should be associate coach of the year, it should be Saleh. Because as much injuries as they've had on that defense, and they still are top notch, you've got to give his kudos. I don't see the Colts win another game the rest of the year. I really don't. Ooh. I still think don't they have Houston still left?
Last
and
week.
Jackson's? Yes. I don't think old man Rivers can get them there. I think they had their opportunity last week against Seattle to win, and they couldn't pull it off. I don't see them win another game the rest of the year. Yeah, I think it comes down to Houston and Jacksonville for the AFC South. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess when you look at it like that, that does say a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I think I am going to pick the underdog here. I think I'm going to go for the Colts. Don't ask me why. I'm just feeling sentimental.
It is at Colts, so that does help a little bit too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's where I'm at. So let's go, Colts. Be the underdog. Show them what's up. All right, Tim. Well, now that you teased us for all 4 games being must-watch games, please tell us your best bets.
And we talked off before the air before, and I talked a little bit earlier. I got a feeling this is either going to be an 0-4 or a 4-0, but I think it's going to be 4-0. First one, JMU and Oregon. The Dukes have won 11 straight, and on paper, arguably might be the best team in the country. Last year, they beat North Carolina as a double-digit underdog, but Oregon is 7-2 against the spread this year, 6-2, 6-3 against the spread when they're 20-point favorites this year. We know Oregon can do, and they can do it. And JMU is just a mystery team. I like the Ducks, and I'll give you the 21 points.
Yikes!
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of points, but I think they run up the score. They might put a 50 or 60 burger on this team. Alabama and Oklahoma. Oklahoma's coming in this game on a 4-game winning streak, but they struggled in their last game against LSU, while Alabama's coming off a bad game against Georgia in the SEC championship. Oklahoma's defense is nasty, but I think they're struggling moving the football as well. But here with that broken thumb, they're struggling. I think Simpson makes enough plays, few more plays than what Mateer does. So give me Alabama and the money line.
Ooh.
It's a point and a half.
Yeah.
Just take the money line. Packers and Bears. The Bears have covered the spread in 5 of the last 6 against teams that have winning records. This is huge because this is for the NFC North and the playoffs. Chicago's 5-1 at home. Bears are playing better than anyone expected, and I think they have the advantage since Parsons and Watson are down. I think the Bears make a few more plays, so give me the Bears on the money line.
Nice.
Tampa Bay and Carolina. The Bucs have won 9 of the last 10 against Carolina, while Carolina has covered the spread in each of the last 11 games as underdogs following a loss. Neither team is coming into this matchup on a high note. They both lost. Tampa just has the better offense and has dominated Carolina in the past, and I expect them to get the job done on Sunday. So give me Tampa, and I'll give you the 3 points.
Well, I hope you go 4-0 because I'll be honest with you. That 20 points scares me only because I don't think they'll run the score up on them. I think because the little professionalism, it's a national night, late touchdowns. But hey, could be 4-0. 3-1 would be solid too. And you take your winnings from Saturday, move it on to Sunday because then you got free money on there. Well, this is episode 175. Lisa and I will do a quick little thing about the volleyball as that's playing right now as well. So we'll kind of do who we think is going to win the championship on that one. We talked college football this weekend, Friday night, Saturday games, amazing games with those. And then if you can't get enough football, we also talked NFL as there's a noon game on Saturday or 3 o'clock game, I think, 2 o'clock game.
3.
And then there's a night game on Saturday night as well as we talked about the Bears and Packers. And then a great action-packed Sunday games as well. I will say, if NFL schedules did really well with these games. Thursday night's great and impactful. Saturday night's great. Sunday's okay. Monday's a great game. Great scheduling on their part. If you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and all those. Enjoy your weekend. It's getting warmer out there, okay? Not as cold, but doesn't mean you need to be outside. Sit down and watch the games. If you like what we do, just follow us as well because we're going to talk about all of those. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.